If you're in the DevOps world, you already know that infrastructure as code is an absolute must. But man, with all the tools out there, trying to pick the right one can feel like you're just lost in a forest, right? So today, we're going to cut a clear path right through that forest and help you make that huge decision. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, trust me, you are not alone. This space is so crowded, and every single tool out there promises it's the one and only solution you'll ever need. But this isn't just about comparing a list of features. Nope. This is about making a really foundational choice that's going to shape your entire automation strategy for years. You've got Terraform, you've got CloudFormation, Ansible, Pulumi, Bicep. I mean, the list just keeps going. And if you make the wrong call here, you could be setting yourself up for some painful complexity, slow automation, or even worse, getting locked into one vendor. The stakes are definitely high. So look, this isn't going to be just another explainer with a boring list of pros and cons. No way. We are actually going to build a decision framework together, step by step. And by the end of this, you won't just know about the tools, you'll know exactly how to pick the perfect one for your specific job. Okay, so the very first part of our framework starts with the single most important distinction in the entire IaC world. Seriously, if you get this one concept, it's going to instantly filter your choices and make everything so much clearer. Let's dive in. You know, the best way to think about it is like building a house. Provisioning tools, they're your construction crew. They're the ones laying the foundation, putting up the walls, getting that roof on. Configuration tools, on the other hand, they're your interior designers. They show up after the house is built to install the cabinets, paint the walls, and set up all the furniture. Now, some tools can do a little bit of both, but they always shine at one or the other. And that is the key. All right, with that first filter in mind, provisioning versus configuration, let's meet the main contenders. We're going to break down what each one is, what its unique superpower is, and exactly where it fits into this whole landscape. First up, the big one, Terraform. If Terraform had a superpower, it's that it's cloud agnostic. It is literally designed from the ground up to manage huge, sprawling infrastructure across a bunch of different cloud providers. Think AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all from one single workflow. Now, Terraform's massive ecosystem and its declarative model are huge wins. But, and this is a big but, all that power comes with a critical responsibility. You have to manage its state file. This file is basically the map between your code and your real-world infrastructure. If you mismanage it, you can cause all sorts of chaos. It's an operational chore you just can't afford to ignore. Next up, we've got CloudFormation. Look, if you live and breathe AWS and have zero plans to ever leave, then CloudFormation is basically your native language. It's built by AWS, for AWS, and it's woven into every single corner of that platform. And that native advantage is pretty obvious, right? AWS manages the state for you, rollbacks are totally automatic, and the security integration is seamless. This is fantastic, especially for regulated industries. The trade-off, of course, is that you are 100% locked into the AWS ecosystem, and those templates, well, they can get really long. And hey, let's hop over to the Microsoft world. Here you've got Azure Resource Manager, or ARM, and its much more modern successor, Bicep. You can think of this as the CloudFormation equivalent, but for Azure, giving you that same kind of deep native integration. And just like with AWS, if your company is all in on Azure and is really focused on things like governance and policy, this is the clear winner. Bicep was actually created to solve the biggest headache with the original ARM templates, how ridiculously long they were, making it way more readable and manageable for today's team. Okay, let's switch gears for a second. Remember our house analogy? Ansible is the interior designer. It is a configuration management tool, not a provisioning tool. Its whole job is to configure servers and deploy applications after the infrastructure is already standing. The beauty of Ansible is just how simple it is. It's agentless, which means it just connects over a simple SSH connection, and it uses these straightforward YAML files called playbooks. This is exactly why you often see this powerful combo out in the wild. Terraform to build the servers, and then Ansible to come in right behind it and set everything up. And finally, let's talk about Pulumi. This is kind of the modern contender, aimed at teams that really think in code. So instead of using a special language like Terraform's HCL, Pulumi lets you define your infrastructure using general-purpose programming languages you probably already know and love.
I mean, this is a total game changer for developer-heavy teams. You can use things like loops, functions, and classes to handle really complex logic. You're managing infrastructure with the very same tools you use for your application code. The trade-off? Well, it has a smaller ecosystem than Terraform for now, and it can be a bit of a learning curve for more traditional infrastructure folks.
Okay, so we've met the players. Now let's put them head to head. We're going to compare them on two of the most critical technical differentiators, their operational model and, you guessed it, how they handle state. So most of these provisioning tools are what we call declarative. The best way to think of this is like telling a taxi driver your destination and just letting them figure out the best route. You just define the end state, like I want one server, and the tool handles all the steps. Ansible, on the other hand, is mostly imperative, which is like giving the driver turn-by-turn directions. For really complex infrastructure, believe me, that declarative model is way more robust and easier to scale. And here we are, back to that critical concept of state. Terraform makes you manage it yourself, externally. The native tools like CloudFormation and ARM, they handle it for you, right inside the cloud platform. And Ansible, well, since it's a configuration tool, it doesn't even need to maintain a state of your infrastructure at all. How state is handled directly impacts how your team collaborates, your security, and your ability to recover when things go wrong. It's a big deal. All right, we've covered the core concepts, we've met the tools. Now for the final and most important part. Let's take everything we've learned and use our framework to make a clear, confident choice. This is where it all comes together. Okay, this is the payoff slide. Just look at this matrix and find your team scenario. Are you multi-cloud? Terraform is your champion. Are you a regulated company that's all in on AWS? CloudFormation is your safe bet. Just need to configure servers that are already running? Bring in Ansible. And if your team is packed with developers who love to code, you've got to give Pulumi a serious look. The goal here is to match the tool to the job you actually have. And finally, just a quick word of warning. Please try to avoid these common traps. Don't pick a tool just because it's popular. Pick it because it actually fits your needs. Always think about your team's existing skills. And if you are going to mix tools, have a really clear strategy for why you're doing it. And please, do not underestimate the complexity of managing state if you go with a tool like Terraform. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all of this? Choosing an IaC tool. It isn't really about the tool at all. It's about designing a whole automation system that takes into account your cloud strategy, your team's skills, and your operational model. So the right question isn't, what's the best tool? It's, what's the right system for us?